Mr. Undersecretary, what is the purpose of your visit to Cyprus?
So Maria, the purpose of my business is take our relationship with Cyprus to the next level. As Secretary Pompeo said, our relationship has never been better. And so right on the heels of him signing the agreement on port security and cybersecurity, today we signed an agreement on science and technology cooperation. And a big part of it, in terms of running economic diplomacy for the United States, is to drive U.S. private sector investment into Cyprus, and particularly, I think, in the innovation sector.
How can the two countries benefit from this memorandum you signed today with Mr. Kokkinos?
Yes, by the way, I think there's a number of ways to be able to do that. Of course, one is private sector investment. I spent 30 years of my career in Silicon Valley building companies, and I think Cyprus is a great place to build innovation centers, software development labs, incubators. I think that is a big area. And if you look at there's great human capital, great know-how in Cyprus, great universities, great location. It's a crossroads. So I think that is really a big area. I think another big area is in terms of the next generation telecommunications, and it's a particular area of focus in terms of 5G and the clean network, which is a comprehensive approach to addressing long-term issues of data privacy, security, trusted collaboration built on a coalition of partners.
You referred to a secure 5G network. Are there any dangers with the introduction of 5G, and if yes, what are these dangers?
Yeah, so if you look at 5G, it's going to change the way communications is done. It'll bring great benefits, but also there's risks in terms of authoritarian states. In China, they have a national security law that requires any Chinese company, state-owned or otherwise, or any Chinese citizen to turn over any information, proprietary technology, intellectual property, or data upon request to the Chinese Communist Party or their army, or suffer the consequences. So a key aspect is to make sure that the 5G providers are trusted providers, they're clean providers, and that is a big requirement for not only just U.S. private sector companies investing in Cyprus and building headquarters, but also really the entire region as well.
So recently you held meetings with EU officials about this 5G security. What was the main goal of these contacts you have, and what was the response of foreign officials in the EU?
It was a great response. Thierry Breton, who's the EU commissioner in charge of 5G, has issued the Clean 5G EU Toolbox, which defines the clean providers and also high-risk suppliers.
So what are the challenges to data security from malign actors both for Europe and the US, and how can these challenges be addressed?
Yeah, well, I think the challenges can be addressed to make sure that you don't put in untrusted equipment. I think that's really key. And to make sure that the network traffic coming into Cyprus comes in clean in terms of clean 5G providers. And I think this is critical. And the bottom line, it's about one word only, and that's trust.
A novel component of the clean network is the public-private partnership between governments and businesses. What makes this collaboration work in the context of addressing 5G security?
Yes, and by the way, this is really important because it's comprised of like-minded countries and also companies. So companies like HP, VMware, Cisco, NEC, Fujitsu are all signed up to the Clean Network because they want to protect their data as well. So I think you're seeing tremendous momentum, and the tide has turned against untrusted vendors.
Do you think that a clean network and 5G security are more important now that we have this COVID pandemic, and that minimizes physical presence, and so we see now more teleworking and teleconferences?
Yes, and by the way, I think it is more important now. National security, cybersecurity, and I can tell you in Washington, on both sides of the aisle, this issue in terms of China's real and urgent threat to freedom-loving countries all over the world, to democracies all over the world, is the most unifying bipartisan issue of our time. There's no difference between Democrat and Republican when it comes to that China challenge.
Coming back to Cyprus, are you satisfied from the response you found from Cypriot officials as regards your views and your positions?
Yeah. You know what, I have found the officials that I've met with just absolutely fantastic. Very like-minded. I think they understand very clearly the risks from untrusted vendors, and so they're aligned, I think, with the rest of the world, with the rest of Europe. You know, if you look at the Clean Network, not only is it 25 of the NATO countries and growing, by the way, is 25 NATO countries and over 25 EU countries, but also Japan, Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, Vietnam, Canada. All of those are on the Clean Network.